Minecraft, a world where you can turn your imagination or inspirations into fun and cool and epic build creations. What is up, legends? Welcome back to a new StumpsMC tutorial. It has been a while, but it is great to be back. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are safe, all of you Minecraft gamers and all of you StumpsMC supporters. Guys, this one's going to be a little bit different. Rather than a house or a statue, we're going to build a bus, but not just any bus. We're going to build a monster truck bus. Being inspired by Minecraft's A Bite-Sized Build book, I found a cool and easy build tutorial that I thought that you guys might like, and so without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, so before we start the build, we are building a monster truck bus sort of thing, and with monster truck being the term, it is practically all terrain, as you guys gather from the real world. What we're going to do though is we're going to put a road in here real quick, just to go with the build with the tutorial. You don't have to build it if you don't want to, but I will go over it and feature it for those who wish to. Alrighty builders, we've got ourselves a road. I just want to go over it with you real quick for those who wish to add this into their world. You don't have to build this if you don't want to, so I'll add chapters to this tutorial. You can skip through the parts you don't want and straight to the build of the truck. But with that, this road's fairly simple. So what we've got here is a barrier, right, on the end of the road with a simple smooth stone. And we've got 5 blocks coming across with the black concrete. Then we've got obviously your lining in the middle of the road here. So we've got 3 of your white concrete powder, spacing that out with 4 of the black concrete, 3, 4, so on and so forth. And then obviously we've got 5 more concrete going across for the other side of the road with a barrier. Just a quick little simple go over with that. I'm not going to give you the inventory of the materials. It's just smooth stone, white concrete powder, and black concrete. You can build the road as wide or as long as you like, or again, not at all. I would not walk on the road if I were you, dude. Yeah. Anyway, with all that being done, let's get to the materials. We have got 132 of your orange concrete. You're going to need 52 of your black concrete, and then we've got 46 of your black stained glass. You will also need, when it comes to blackstone variants, 32 blackstone, 38 blackstone stairs, and blackstone slabs 38. When it comes to the warped planks and fungus variants as well, we've got 30 of the warped planks, you got 34 of the warped stairs, 3 warped doors, 2 warped signs, and 4 warped buttons. And moving on to the last few things, we've got 10 polished deep slate stairs, we've got 16 stone brick walls, 8 lodestone, 12 end rods, we'll need 6 furnaces, 4 ladders, and then we've got a few bits and pieces for the inside here, so a clock, compass, which is going to be our GPS, you could say. We've got some buttons and levers here for controls. I did forget, but managed to remember, we need also 8 item frames, so don't forget those guys. Also have 8 torches here, just for an additional lighting if you guys wish to use those, but that you'll see over night time. With all that guys, let's get into the build, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, we're going to do this step by step, nice and slow and together. We're going to start with the wheels, which is fairly easy surprisingly. So we're going to come to one side, I'm going to leave it 1 block off my edge here. So we're going to start here. Basically going to place a block with the lodestone on top of it, and we're going to basically turn that into a cross, you could say. Coming with the stairs, this is when we turn it into wheels. So we just pretty much corner off the edging, just like so, and that is almost a full wheel. We're going to make this too wide though, so we place another lodestone in here, and we repeat the process ever so again. Really quick, really easy, and that is our first wheel done. Just like so. Now we can grab our stone brick wall. We're going to bring this out a couple, so we're going to place one here, place another one next to it, and then that one in the middle. These 2 are going to be the middle here. So we're going to bring these ones up another 2, just like so. So they're 3 high, and you've got 1 extending off to the side. Coming over here again, we extend that off 1 to the side, and we can place our lodestone in there, place our blocks on top, closing off this and building the front wheels. So once you've done that, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. And what we're going to do here is we're going to place this black concrete on top, right? On top of the fence. And we're going to bring that out 4. We're also going to bring it out towards the front 1 more, just like so. Now that's 4 wide. We're going to make this go 13 back. So we've already got 2 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just like that. All right, bring this over 4. And close it all the way in. this is our flooring for our vehicle. Now, once you have that, you can easily map out where the next axle goes. So we're coming down and we're going to come one in. A bit hard to see with the shaders right now, I apologize. But just come in one in like that, bring these down 3 like the front. So 1, 2, 3, and then bring them out 1. Just like so. So now you can place your lodestone on the ends. Now again, the wheels are too thick, so we must make them just like that. Cover them up really quick and really easy, and throw the stairs in upside down on the bottom there, just to make that, again, wheel looking effect. Really, really cool. We're going to take our time, like I said in the beginning, and we're going to do this one more. Rather than skipping it, trying to save any confusion, we can also do it together. So you got your cross, and again, stairs underneath have to be upside down, and the ones on top can just be normal. There we go. So now you have, well, half your monster truck bus already. Before we get started with the actual build itself, the rest of it, I would like to point out that you don't need to use orange. Orange isn't probably your color, right? So you might like yellow, red, green, blue. You can use whatever color you like. I've just chosen orange for this build. Towards the end of the video, I'll show you this truck bus in yellow and perhaps red or another color, but just for now and for the tutorial, we're going with orange. Now, when it comes to the front here, it's going to be a little bit tricky, so we're going to take it easy and nice and slow. We've got here a temporary block. We need this to place our furnaces on top of, so that way they face the platform and not out this way, if that makes sense. It needs to look like this, not like that. So we had that temporary block there to place it onto, the rest we can place it off of, and with that we've got our 4 facing the platform. So coming to the front here, we've got the orange concrete. Again, you can use any color you like. We've got 1 across, then 1 next to the furnace, 1 down, and 1 under the furnace. And we're going to leave a 2 space gap here. I'm going to show you that and why in a moment. So 1 here, 1 next to it, 1 down, and 1 across. Got that 2 space gap, you can see the axle a bit. We're going to place 1 at the back, or 2 at the back here. That's going to kind of give you an indent there, which we can then use for a light bar feature, which most trucks have. Okay, coming to the hood before we can do any more additional features and details, we need to close this off completely. So 1 at the back here, just like so, the back rows, and then some at the front, closing that off completely, giving that little kind of feature, if you would, for the truck. Now, this is going to be a temporary block, so let's just ignore this one here. But we're going to bring it out 1 like so. We need this exposed, so it's got to be kind of like this. 1, 2, 3, like a corner. We can't have it like this. And you'll see why in a moment. So a temporary block here, and then bring that one back out just like so. That way that's all open and ready to fill in. Now, at the front here, we'll do the little details. So we've got little buttons in each corner, just like so. And then we've got item frames on top of those, which is kind of really cool. And then we just need the signs, which I didn't grab. Here we go. 1 here and 1 here. And our front is practically done now. So with that, we can actually come to the sides here with these we put on the sides. We can build this up 2 more, just like so. And we can now fill these 2 in with glass, if we will. But we'll get to that once we get to actually doing the glass. A few more final pieces for the front, and that's going to be with the stair in line with this stair, but upside down, if that makes sense. We'll just have these 2 blocks here, because this is what's going to be along the trim of the truck. And then again, whoops, not like that. Stair upside down in line with that stair. And then we can place this slab here to kind of make a guard, if that makes sense. And we do the same for the rest of the front of it. We close off the bottom, kind of like a guard, if that makes sense. And then we can do the same thing again. A little bit tricky, but we'll try to take our time. You guys can pause the video, go back if you need to, and so on and so forth with that. So we've got a little guard going, stair, slab, stair again upside down, reminding you they have to be in line with the corner of your wheel, if that makes sense. So it's kind of acting like a guard for the wheel. Now for the rest of this, we can actually go all the way around with our warped planks, completely wrapping the black part of the platform. Now with that being done, we can actually move on to the next step. So this can all go back to being orange, right? Except here. Gotta leave that space for the stair to be upside down, for your guard, slab, stair, and then we can close this off again with the orange on the bottom. Fairly simple, fairly easy. I hope I haven't lost you guys, and I hope you're still with me. And we've got another one just like so, making that the last guy we had to do, which is cool. Closing all of that off with the orange, and then coming down underneath it, we need to slab that off again, just like so. Slab that off, slab this off. With the back, I do like to kind of bring that down a little bit more, just so it kind of hides a bit more of the axle from behind. That's optional, you don't need that. Same with this, the sides are going to be, the main tutorial originally just has it straight, but we're going to have a little bit of a drop in here, because why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Bit more detail, everyone likes that. And the door will be, we've got to bring this down a little bit more. I think it's either here or here. I believe it's supposed to go right here. I can't see it making sense right on the wheel, so we'll take it one off the wheel. So if you follow along, your monster bus truck should look a little something like this. So far anyway, we've got plenty more to do, so don't worry about that. But we'll get to the door. So we've got a little entrance here. We're going to have it one block off the floor, so you just jump onto the ladder, if that makes sense. It's not dragging on the road, and you can just kind of walk up. We're going to have the door though, going to be an indent, so it's not flush with that block. All little details, they all come into play, and it comes together towards the end. So we're going to barrier that whole thing off and close it off like so, and just one here, just like that. So now above all of this, we're going to now close that off with the same orange concrete all the way around, basically making that plank, this warped plank, act like a blue stripe if you would. And that is all of that. We want to mimic the window on this side, so we're going to allow for that. And the rest is fairly simple. We pretty much just come to the back here, 1, 2. And with all that, we can actually fill all of that in with the glass now. We can get to the inside if you want to do the inside with the bus open, that's up to you. I like to build it when it's already enclosed. I do the interior last, so we can get to that towards the end. So we'll give this truck monster bus some windows. I don't like how it's just a straight flatness here, so I like to raise it up a little bit at the front there, just with one block. And then we can add and continue on with our windows. It is supposed to be a monster truck bus, so it's not just a monster truck, hence why it looks a lot like a bus. Coming to the back, I realized I forgot something. We're going to close this off completely and put an exit here. So this is like another door to hop out. This isn't needed, you don't need this, but it's optional, right? Actually, we'll make that one flush. That one's optional, and you can use this to escape if the truck crashes. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you, but if it does, then, well, you have another way to get out. Coming to the back, it is fairly simple and fairly easy, not much detail to this. We just place these in the corners, just like so. And we can put some buttons next to the doors for some additional effect as well. We're pretty much almost done, guys. We pretty much just got to roof it off and then do the interior. So bear with me as we do that real quick. We need to bring out the warp stairs now and close it off completely. So we're going to start from the left side and go all the way around, just like so. And when it comes to the front, you can just have it like this if you want to. Me personally, I like the stairs to be upside down, so I do this. Just like that. Kind of to give it a bit more of an indent feature up the top here. Optional, you don't need to have it like that. Coming to the roof, it's fairly simple. We just close that off. But before we do that, let's get to the inside of this. Doing the interior, we just go place some stairs, which is going to be the chairs with one space between them all, which gives us a few passengers, which is really cool. Now for the front, I kind of making this up as I go. This isn't part of the tutorial from the book initially, but we are making this up as we go. So we're just going to put some furnaces in the corners there, hence the 2 furnaces we have at the very end. We need those buttons that we had, which will go on the floor and act like pedals, if you will. And then we've got 2 levers and 2 tripwires to mess with, so let's throw those in for additional controls. And then we just have the last 2 things that we need. So we've got our clock, and we've got our GPS system, which helps us go to wherever we want to go to when the satellite gives us signal. And then lastly, we just throw in the stairs as a seat, so that way the drivers or driver has a seat to sit on. Coming in with the lighting, your truck is done. I initially like to place the lighting above the stairs. This just gives it, yeah, a fair amount of lighting inside as you would get from a bus/truck anyway. You simply close off the top of this and your truck is done and dusted. Really simple, really easy. And again, I will show you in a few moments how this looks with a few different color variants. So I'll just change the orange and green, you could say, or just the orange, and you could see what colors it comes to. But with all that, that is our monster truck tutorial built, done and dusted. And well, the road is fairly small for the truck, but again, it's just for the initial design, initial build. And you could very well say that the monster truck is so big that it takes up both sides of the road. So you could have it as orange. You could make it red. You could make it yellow. Or you could have it blue. And just like subscribing, the choice is up to you. Much love, legends. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are safe. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment down for me. And with all that, I'm going to see you guys in the next one.